Welcome back to The Vortex. I'm your host, Elle Black. Today I'm going to be talking about something completely different. It's not a film and it's not horror, but it is a docuseries of true crime. It's a bit of a horror that comes out just next week. And it's a story I've been following personally for the last 7 years since it actually happened. And this is the story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. We are all over this right now. Everyone is talking about it for many reasons. The first being that she's just been released from prison on the 28th of December. So she's actually home now and she is speaking. She is breaking the silence for the first time in her entire life to tell the story herself. And boy, is she telling it. She is all over the social media. She has a book coming out in a couple of days' time, so 5th of January, that's being released, and her docuseries comes out on the 9th of January. And in the meantime, she is all over social media. It is such a treat. I am following her on Instagram, so are like 5 million other people in the course of the last week, and she's uploading daily, so it's very interesting to watch it all unfold. And if you didn't know already, she killed her own mother. And to say this happened about 7 years ago. She's served 85% of a 10-year prison sentence, and that was for second-degree murder. So she was born in 1991, and she was told by her mother that she had a multitude of illnesses throughout her childhood. These illnesses included being told that she couldn't eat, that she couldn't talk, that she couldn't walk. And her mother even told people that she had cancer, which wasn't true. But sadly, that's something that she actually believed herself. I think even to the point of her going to prison, she believed that one was probably true, that she actually did have leukemia. And that's how convincing her mum was. So throughout her childhood, she would convince doctors, she convinced Gypsy herself. And it wasn't until she got a little bit older that she got suspicious and then realised for sure that her mum was being misleading with her. I mean, especially on the count that she told people she couldn't walk or talk. And clearly Gypsy knew she could at some point, and then was told by her mum to not talk or walk in front of people. Very confusing. Obviously supposed to be able to trust your mum and things like that. Literally told her to be quiet, not say a word during doctor's appointments, so that she could tell them that she was mute, that she couldn't speak. And she ended up having quite a few operations actually, and a lot of medical attention. Many of the diagnoses were incomplete and conclusive, so that sort of drew it all on for longer. They got a lot of benefits from these supposed illnesses and disabilities. They were constantly receiving things from charities. I believe they even had a new house built, but then that was tied in with being a victim of the genuine hurricane. But she certainly benefited. She would benefit a lot. She being the mother, they, I suppose, would benefit a lot from fabricating these illnesses constantly. It wasn't until 2011 that Gypsy really started to realise that she didn't want this life. She needed her freedom and her independence, and that she needed to be away from her mum, but not to the extreme of killing her. She had the idea, I believe, of just going off with a boyfriend that she had met. So she managed to meet a man or a boy online, and her mum found out, and she allegedly smashed up all of her computer and scolded her to the extent that she didn't even manage or was brave enough to do it all again or try again to meet somebody online until 4 years later in 2015. So she then meets another guy online, 2015, and they managed to form a relationship online. Must have been sneaky behind her mum's back. This was on a Christian website. She then convinces this guy to murder her mum so that she can get her freedom. Gets this guy to physically come to her home and stab her mother to death. And she knows she doesn't want to hear the stabbing. She doesn't want to hear the murder. She knows that it's going to be painful for her. So she apparently hides in the bathroom and covers her ears so that she can't hear the screams. But I heard that she did hear the screams and that she does regret having to hear them. Apparently, she doesn't actually wish that her mum was dead in the end, in retrospect. She's spoken with Dr. Phil, and she wishes that her mother wasn't dead after all, apparently. But she is very glad to finally have been rid of the restrictions and to be able to finally live her life. In fact, she did say that in prison she actually had more of a free life than she did at home with her mother. Obviously, they succeeded in the murder of the mother, and they both went to prison. He got life in prison, he being the boyfriend, and Gypsy, as I say, only got a 10-year sentence for second-degree murder, which she only served 85% of, so she got out after 7 years. But this poor fellow, well, he did commit murder, but this fellow is in prison forever. And like I say, she got married in prison, but no, it wasn't to the guy that killed her mum. It was to another fellow called Ryan Scott Anderson. So they are supposedly happily married, and now, having spent the last 5 days, I suppose, out of prison together, displaying that they're having a lovely, happy life. And I say, got this book coming out in a couple of days' time, got this docuseries coming out. It should be really, really interesting. And yeah, docuseries comes out on the 5th of January. Really excited to have a look at that. Probably will do another video to review that. But I'm expecting it to be good, and I'm just going to have to blitz it. I know I'm going to have to just watch all of it in one go. I won't be able to watch episode after episode, no matter how many there are, because I really want to know the full story. And if there's any other details that have been missed, I mean, everything from Gypsy's perspective would be great, because we've got everything, but we've got some alleged, supposed, we can imagine, but she's literally never been able to speak before. So we've got little clips coming out on Instagram every day. We've got little teasers, but she's not going to go into any more depth than she had done previously, I think. So she has done a few little interviews, but this should be the full story from her perspective, as well as reflection. So as much as she's done interviews before, what she's saying is that, you know, she's had a lot of time to reflect over the last 7 years. So we should really be able to get an idea of what that's been about as well. So, what do you know about Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Have you been following the story for the last 7 years? Do you know anything I don't know? Have I missed anything? Please do let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.